What's up, everyone? It's Matt Mrozik, and this is going to be an intro video to the Graven Labs Captain America prototype. So I got this in the other day, and it is freaking amazing. This may be my favorite Captain America now. Alpha 3 was my favorite. This may trump that. I really dig this piece. I posted some photos of it the other day. So this is how it arrived. This is all the pieces to it. So we've got, starting on this list, we got this cape that he's holding in his hand. There is the perch for the eagle. Got a rifle that sits on the base. Obviously his torso, Thor's hammer, his legs, his boots, his arms, two switch out heads. These are all the little wings and claws and stuff for the eagle. I'm not going to take those out. The eagle right there, which is beautifully sculpted. The two shields and the Hydra logo. And the base in the background. So let's put this together and go over the switch out options and stuff, because it's pretty cool. I have to back out quite a bit to get, because it's a tall piece. So let's see, I'll just have to crop off some of the pieces, but we'll start off with the perch and stuff. Actually, I'll come in close first and I'll go over some of the pieces. It's a new format for me, sitting down and going over stuff, so we'll see if I can do more reviews like this so I'm not in the way of the camera. So let's start off with the quality. So this is from Hot Toy Creators, or HTC factory. Top-notch product quality right here. I've only got one crit and I'll go over that when I get to it. One of the magnets isn't strong enough, so they'll have to address that in the production pieces. I already told Marcus about it, and for this one I'll just have to add a pin or something, because digging magnets out sucks. So let's start off with the base, which is back here. I'm not sure if it's in frame. We'll start off with these small pieces. So the sculpting on this piece is phenomenal. Like this flag right here is just gorgeous. It's torn, it's beat up. Great fabric detail. I love all the little threads here where it's been torn and ripped. Super high detail in that. And the way this is engineered is really done really well. I was like, man, how's this going to his hand? Well, what they did is they sculpted part of the hand onto the flag. There's a pin here, and when you put it together, it is seamless. You can't see. It is seamless. It's done extremely well. When you put this on there, you cannot find a seam. The way they cut it and molded is perfectly. It's right down the seam of where a stitch would be. So when it's in there, it's seamless. It's perfect. really nice. So that's how that works. I'll put that to the side. Speaking of the hands, let's go over those. Now we have 4 hands. You have 2 switch outs on each side. You have 2 different shields, and then for the right side, am I saying that right? Or is this the left side? Let me get my hand straight. For your left hand, sorry, you have one holding the cape, or the flag that I just showed you, and you have one that holds Thor's hammer. And this is also done very well. The way it works is it's 2 pieces. You take this out, Thor's hammer plugs in, and then that's how that works. So it'll probably come like this from the factory, so you can take that out for shipping purposes. The sculpt on the hands is done really well. So the one thing about this Captain America is that, and it's more of a classic look, more circa, World War II, not the modern Captain America. So there's no texture in his suit, except for the leather gloves and the chest and stuff like that. But like on his arms and legs, there's no texture, which is fine. I think that's okay. It's more like, it'd be like a what's the material? I can't think of that. Spandex. That's not the right word. But so there's no fabric, there's no texture, it's smooth. But the leather sculpting is done really well. Great texture in the leather on those. On the shield hands, the straps that hold the shields, done very well. Nice little metal details here, and the nice leather straps that go across both arms. And each hand fits a specific shield, which is really nice. The key in only one way. And then we'll move from the top down. I'll go over his head next. The torso. Again, super high quality, great sculpt, not crazy, ton of pouches and stuff like that on the modern Captain America. Is real simple. Someone made a comment about the belt buckle being too big. I don't see it. I think it looks fine. That's just my opinion. Again, no texture in the pants. You do have some seam detail here on the sides and the front. Some nice delineation between the red and white on the torso here. So on this side, not sure which colors, which one's going to go red, which one's going to go white, but you have like a canvas and a smooth fabric. And then you got these awesome scales on the chest and a nice leather star. Really, really nicely done. I kind of wish that they would have, and I do this, I know they did this because of the switch outs, that, well, you had to do it this way because of the shields. I was going to say maybe there's a magnet here like on this side, but it makes more sense to have the magnet down there at the wrist. So done really well. Not much to say about the legs. Again, there's no texture in here, but the muscle definition is real nice and very slight wrinkle detail in there. Looking really good. And the only other part of Captain America are the two head sculpts. There's two. And also someone had mentioned maybe the heads were too small. I don't think so. I think they're pretty good. So we have a masked head, and then we have an unmasked head. But I like what they did here. They have the mask hanging off the back of his neck. So like he just kind of pulled it off, and he's, you know, taking a look around without it. The mask head is beautifully done. Again, pretty simple. Not a whole lot of detail in the, you know, it's the more classic. We don't have all the different, you know, metal panels and stuff. This will be, you know, red and blue, maybe two-tone blue. Sorry, two-tone blue for that. And the face sculpt is nice. He looks a little bit older in this one, maybe, to me. Is it the same sculpt? Yep, same sculpt. So, yeah, maybe just not quite as young as like the modern day Captain America, but maybe just a little bit older. Maybe he's in his late 30s, maybe early 40s here. That could be my kind of guess. And then we have the unmasked head. Again, like I said, they did the nice mask going back behind his neck. Love the hair sculpt. Lots of detail in the hair. Just done really, really nicely. They'll paint up beautifully and highlight really, really beautifully. Some slight texture in the skin, but really, really nice. And I can put this whole thing together, which is great. So I'm going to kind of get him. Let's go over the rest of the sculpt. Then we got the shields. They're pretty simple. Pick this up. So we got round shield, and then we got, I don't know what the terminology is. Again, comic guys can tell me. I'm going to call it round and this shape. I know, like, they're different eras or different versions of Captain America. Real simple, nothing on the back, just smooth. Again, pretty simple in the front, and there's some slight damage marks on here, so really done really nicely well. Same thing with this, nothing on the back, and there's some slight damage marks on here, some scratches and stuff. So, but these will paint up beautifully. And then what else we got? So on the base, we also have a machine gun. And this is sculpted awesome. You know, the wood texture in the butt. The details are super sharp. Sometimes I wonder if the factory used a primer that's a little thick, because I think these details would be sharper if the primer wasn't so thick. It looks thick to me. So, and that's on a lot of these pieces. I just think they go a little heavy with the primer. I think they're losing some detail there. Not that the details it's not there. It's there. I see it. It could be a little sharper if they went a little bit lighter on the primer. But I think they do that because they're not going in there and doing like what I would do, sanding down to like 800 grit sandpaper when they clean a scene. They're, you know, going to a lower grit, and they're just filling it in with primer. But anyway, that's done really nice. And this just lays on the base. Went over the flag, and then we have a helmet. Again, real simple. Very World War II. Looks like a German helmet. Super simple, just lays on the base, but done really well. Then we have a Hydra logo, which is great because it looks like it had been broken off the top of this pillar, and it fell down, and the eagle is landed where this was standing. So really kind of cool concept. Done really well. Now the eagle is sculpted just unbelievably beautiful. I have one little piece of breakage, and it's on one of the feathers on the wings, and I can't find it, so I have to resculpt one of the feathers. But this eagle is just unreal, and it's engineered just so perfectly. So there's a magnet that holds the head on, just like that. The detail in the feathers is insane. When I get together, I'll come in closer and do some close-up shots. On the tail, there's a magnet. Fits in there perfectly, just like that. And then the wings peg in. Oops, that's the wrong side. He wouldn't go very far that way. Peg in, and again, seaming really, really beautifully. But you're gonna get a sense of the size of this guy in my hand here. Just, doesn't that say home of the free, the United States of America? Just, I hate to say it, but I think the eagle may be my favorite part. It's really, really beautiful. Beautiful job of whoever sculpted this. It's interesting because I could have sworn that there was an option to have the pillar in the piece or not. Technically, you can have the pillar out, but there's nothing to put in its place unless I'm missing something. But right now, where it stands, you have to have the pillar in place and the eagle in there. I think it would be a plus if the pillar was an option to have out, just because it's so tall, it kind of takes away from Captain America. But I'm not sure if I'm missing a piece or not. I need to find out because I don't see it in the box. But I thought an option was to have the pillar or not have the pillar. So I'll find out from Marcus. But let's put this whole piece together and see what it looks like. I'm gonna take this eagle apart because I don't want to break anything. I'm gonna back the camera out too as I build them. So I'm gonna stand up and do that real quick because he gets big pretty fast. That's what she said. Okay, so I'm gonna pan up. And the base is fairly simple. It's kind of nice because it's a departure from your typical rock base. It looks like maybe a brick road or a brick street with some rubble from a building. So you got some bricks here that are kind of broken and stuff. You got part of the Hydra logo right here on the bottom. Thing's heavy, guys. It weighs a ton. A nice detail I just noticed is that there's actually some of this rubble in the holes of this brick. So it's a cool little detail. So I'm gonna put on this pillar first, which is quite tall. And it's interesting, they sculpted the eagle's feet are in the pillar, so there's a nice steady big metal rods that go from the eagle's feet into the pillar, so he's stable. I'm gonna get up one more time to check the frame to see if he's gonna be in there all the way. He should be. Pan up a little more because the eagle gets pretty tall. Okay. Let's see. Is it better to put the eagle on first? I will put this part of the eagle on first. And the way this goes in, he just pegs right in. And it goes in at a very specific angle. You have to put both pegs in at one time. But super solid right in there. And then the head. And then the tail. Just like that. And I'm going to put Captain America together. So he's got one of the feet back here, nice big peg with a magnet. Fits right in. And then we've got these legs magnetized into the boots like that. And there's magnets in the hip joints like that. I think I do have a suggestion also on the production piece. Maybe put a magnet in this foot just so it lines up on the base. Not necessarily a peg, but maybe just another magnet in the base, foot in the base. Just a small suggestion. Here's the Hydra logo. So if the eagle wasn't there, it's actually sculpted to look like it fell off the top. So it's sitting down here with the magnet, it's upside down. Pretty cool. Let's see what else. Okay, let's put in, so this is your first option. For the left hand, it's just a closed fist. The magnet's plenty strong there for that. And I'm going to put on the masthead first. Here we go. And then for his other hand, I'm going to put in, let's put in this shield. And like I said, these only key in one, like you can't mess up the shields, they only key in one way. But watch me, I could probably mess it up. There we go, okay. that. And the magnets are plenty strong to hold the shields. Could maybe be a hair stronger. I feel like it could be just a hair stronger. All right, so now let's put the eagle's wings on. And then we're gonna stand up again to make sure it's still in frame. Hey, Alina, you in there? No. I'm asking my daughter to check my frame for me, but she's, I'm doing something. She's too busy to help her old man. I gotta stand up. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see if we're in frame. Not quite. Let's back out a little bit. Really, really pretty piece, guys. So there you go. Okay. So let's put all these other switch outs to the side here. And we'll switch them around in a second. Okay, and then like the helmet just sits on here wherever you kind of want, and then the rifle does the same thing. There's no keys or anything for it. Just kind of put on there however you want. Oh, well, hold on. Maybe there is a key. There is a key for the rifle. I just noticed that. Okay, right there. And then the helmet just goes wherever you want. Okay, so, and then he's got the little, I haven't put these on yet. Let's see. The little wings for the helmets. Ooh, ooh, cool. Sweet, 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 sweet. They are magnetized. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So these can come off for transport. Good call on that, guys, because I know on the Alpha 3, those are notoriously broke all the time. So the little wings on the helmets are magnetized. Nice. Very cool. All right, so, and then I got a little peg here for something. Oh, that goes in the rifle. And I've got the eagle's claws, and I'm gonna try to put those in. I'll put those in at the end. But oh, that's kind of cool. I just noticed that the eagle's claws have wires in them. So they have casted some wire in there, which is nice. Let me put this little piece to the side here so I don't lose it. All right, so measurement-wise, he's a big boy. And it's really because of the eagle. So your tallest spot on this guy is going to be to the top of the eagle's wings, which is going to be right at about 28 inches. And then your width, which is going to be the tips of the eagle's wings, is going to be right at about 21 inches. And then your depth, front of the base to the back, it's about 21 inches. So he's about 21 inches square. Sorry, I tripped on my mic. So 21 inches wide, 21 inches deep. Sorry, not 21 inches square. 21 wide, 21 deep, and about 28 tall. That's with the eagle. So now if I'm thinking correctly and the eagle is an option, he would only be, without the eagle, he'd only be, Marcus can correct me out this if I'm wrong, right about 22 inches. But just a really, this is a cool piece. Makes a statement, big time. It looks good from every angle. It really does. Looks good from the back. Looks good from the side. Yeah, just this is phenomenal. Looks really good. So let's do some of the switch outs. So we can switch out this shield. So one reason I say put a magnet on here because he feels a little wobbly on the base. So two suggestions. Again, this is just what my suggestion is to Marcus and maybe the factory. And they may do this, I don't know. Maybe instead of magnets in the legs, just make him one piece. Get rid of the magnets in the legs, just glue him to one piece, you know, torso, legs, and everything in one piece. I may do that on this. He may not go back to the original packing, but I think it's probably a smart thing to do. He'll be more, he's a little wobbly. Magnets are great, but if you have a lot of magnets and a lot of joints, even unless they're super, super strong, they can be a little bit unstable. And I feel like he wants to wobble a little bit. So I'm not sure if it's the joints or if it's just, oh, no, the magnets are strong enough. When I get his foot down solid, he's not wobbly. So maybe maybe a pin in the foot would be a good idea. Or a magnet in the base, a real strong magnet in the foot in the base, just so his foot's flat and he's not wanting to wobble around too much. All right, so let's take this shield off and then put the other one on. I tend to lean towards the round shield. Again, that's my personal preference. It's heavy. It's got a lot of weight to it. But now this one, did I have this one on earlier? I thought I did. This magnet can be a little bit stronger. It's pretty, it's just barely strong enough to hold that up. So another suggestion, stronger magnet in that hand for that shield. So you can take this arm out. And then I do know for a fact that the magnet that holds this hand in with the flag is not strong enough. So I'll have to add a pin in the prototype. Because when I put this in, it wants to fall out and forward. See, it doesn't want to stay in. There's a lot of weight right here. So right now it's not wanting to stay in. If I take the flag out, it'll stay. So what I'm going to do on the prototype is I'll probably add a pin to the front here of the arm and up in the socket, and that should keep it from pulling out. So I'm not going to put that in there for now because I don't want to drop it. It will hold the one with Thor's hammer just fine. So I'll send this video to Marcus. He'll watch it, I hope, and he can make some suggestions maybe to the factory. But looking good. I'm going to take this one out too for now. Actually, I think it's okay. Nope, don't break, don't break, don't break. I'm going to take that one out too because it's got me a little worried that it's not strong enough. So some stronger magnets here and there I think is a good idea. Let's take off this helmet, or this head, and put on the unmasked one. Come on, there we go. Really nice piece. So I'm going to come in a little closer, I think, the camera, and show you some of the details. So I'll work it from this side now, from the behind the camera. I love the way that this comes off the back. Off the back and lays on the back of his shoulders. Done really well. Love the hair sculpt. Let's look at the other one a little closer. Good strong magnets in the head. Just need stronger magnets in a few other areas. So you can see here where it's nice, it's smooth fabric here and here, but a lot of texture other places. So I like it. Great sculpt on the shoulders, all the scales. Just look at the eagle. Just really beautifully done. He's got claws there in the bag. I didn't take them out. Look at the detail in the feathers. Just crazy, crazy good. Here's where I had one feather broke off. I don't see it in the bag or in the box. I looked twice. So I'm not sure if it just fell out in packing or what. This piece deserves a good 30-minute video. I think so. Great detail in Thor's hammer. Got the inscription here. And then the base. I like the base. It's, you know, it's pretty simple, but lots of great details in there. I didn't notice until just now when I was doing this review that the shape of this sculpt right here matches the shape of the sculpt at the top of the column as if it had fallen out. Really nice. Take a little closer look at the faces. Great piece. Really, really, I love it. So yeah, so my suggestions to Marcus and the factory, you're gonna need a stronger magnet in this hand. This shield weighs a lot. You're definitely gonna need a stronger magnet in this arm. Mine won't even stay in, so I'm gonna add a pin. Like I said, I'm gonna add a pin right here and a pin up in the socket that should keep it from pulling out. And then my other suggestion is adding a magnet to this foot in the base, or maybe another pin to it, because right now he's a little wobbly on the base. He wants to wobble around, and you can see he's wobbling around here a little bit. So again, maybe just glue the legs together to the torso. I'll probably end up doing that on this piece just to keep it from being too wiggly. So I'm gonna have to pack it alternatively, but there you go. This is, again, maybe my favorite cap now. I like it. It screams America and freedom, and the eagle is a big part of that. So whoever sculpted this, I don't know the sculptor's name, props to you, man, or a woman. Really, really nice job. I love it. And I think Graven Labs has another winner on their hands. So as far as I know, the color palette's going to be kind of lighter on this, you know, a little more classic, not so punchy, saturated blues like I did on the first Alpha 3 I did. So I think it's going to be a little softer. I could be wrong, but I think that's the direction we're going to go. A little softer colors, a little more of the time period. So, but this will be a really stunning piece when done. The eagle's going to take a lot of time to paint. I've never painted animals, and I was looking at some reference photos the other night of bald eagles, and there are a lot of colors going on. It's just not brown and white. There are browns, there's whites, there's blues, there's reds, there's yellows, there's all sorts of colors going on in those feathers. They're iridescent. They're really pretty. So the eagle will take, I think, the longest to paint. But there you go. There's the Graven Labs Captain America prototype. I think whoever has this on pre-order is going to love it. It's just a phenomenal piece, as always, from Graven Labs. As always, thanks for watching. It's Matt Mrozik. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.